very good evening, and I thought I'd do something slightly different with this particular video. Rather than just making a video, I thought I'd make a video of me making a video. So what we're going to have tonight is a look at my process of how I actually do things and what goes on in the making of one of George's Workbench videos. Now, I've done a lot of the setting up already, and that's just to save some time because nobody wants to stand there and sit there and watch me put some equipment together, and generally just, watch somebody setting up a tripod and a microphone and a stand. So what I'm going to do initially is I'm going to start by making sure all the cameras are right, making sure my audio levels are right, and whatever I'm going to be doing is in shot. And then once we've done that, I'll show the process of transferring everything over to the PC, and from there my editing sort of workflow and how I go through that. And hopefully you'll enjoy it, and it might be a little bit interesting, and it might explain why sometimes my videos aren't as rapid as others. At the moment, I would never be able to do a video a day, not unless I had a lot more time and a lot less sleep. So let's get on with it. Been waffling for 2 minutes and we haven't really done anything. So here we are, a video on making one of George's Workbench videos. Swapping you over and we'll go handheld. Okay, right, now what we've got here, and you'll see all the lights flashing and hopefully this will be reasonably steady, is one of my audio setups, and this is the one I have been using most recently. And what you have there is you have the audio recorder coupled up to the microphone processor, which basically provides the power and all the signal pickup for the, let's just move it around, you can see my dad's radio, you can see the Canon camera, and here's the microphone. I'll just move the pop filter out of the way, and there's the microphone set up in its anti-shock cage on the stand. So that's there. Let me just tighten that back up again. So although I'm not going to be using the audio from that microphone for this particular video, hopefully this cell phone based video will be fine. Now, so there's the audio recorder, and you can actually see that I'm setting up the levels there, and it's just a case of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see the level meter going over. Now at the moment I record in mono. It's just something I've been doing. Now, yes, that is the dining room table, so that's why there's a bottle of ketchup sitting next to the 4-way power socket, or the 2-way power socket on the extension reel there. And yes, I have to move everything around every time I set up because I just don't have a permanent studio fixture. So let's go in, and if I move you closer to the Tascam, and we'll try not to get the shininess on there, the microphone at the moment is peaking just about the right level. I've got the limiter off, but the low cut is set now, and I'm trying not to shake this camera, but it's hard because of the way I'm holding it. And generally the peak on level 1 is on channel 1, sorry, is the mono input from that microphone, and as long as it doesn't go much above -6, I'm quite happy, and we don't get the distortion. For Bill, I actually dropped the bass compression on the enhancer. As you can see, this control down here on the enhancer, this is the low bass, and this is the high bass to mid-range control. And what I've done is I've dropped that down a touch and brought that one up so that hopefully you, Bill, and anyone else with a subwoofer can see that the audio's slightly better. Let's go round and bring you round. Obviously the Canon camera is here. I'm going to open this one. Remember how to open it there. Turn it round so that I can see the screen. Put it round. Now, I did actually format these a couple of days ago because they were getting full. It doesn't take much to fill these cameras, and certainly not when I'm doing a lot of videos. They really just don't take a lot of time to go at all. So that one's on standby. Let's just open the lens, and then we can align it on the bench. And this is on the tall tripod, and I'm just going to get the angle right, zoom it in a touch. Let's go the other way. There we go. I think that's about right for there. So that's that one, and then we go over to the rest of the bench, and hopefully this will be picking up the right sort of look. And I'm just going to turn this one over. So that one's getting ready to initialize. Okay, so now you can see my mug behind the camera, and yes, I am holding it on a tripod, so it does look a bit weird, but yeah. And I'll just check that when I sit facing the bench, I am actually center of the camera, and that one works. And then we go over to the mess pile where the other camera is hiding at the moment, and we'll open the lens on that, bring open the viewfinder on that. Let's just move that light out the way. A little repair job of a Xenod light that I'm going to do. And I'm actually going to bring this camera out of here and move it over onto the laser printer, so that has this sort of a look to it. And again, when everything falls down, I'm going to just bring the view in. I'm just going to align it a little bit better, and make it so that I can actually see what's on the screen. I do actually have HDMI connectors which connect to the monitor. Here's the overhead, which is pointing straight down at the bench. And if I put this into live view mode, that monitor should fire up with a picture of what we're doing. There we go. And I do actually have to set the white balance on that because I was actually shooting some photography outside. Right, okay, so now all the cameras are set up, we have to go into the actual video making stage. So let's start off by triggering up the mic recorder. Right, let's hit the fire button on this one first, which is over here. And then we'll hit the start button on that one, and that one, and that one. And then we'll actually start the audio recording, and then in shot, in shot, in shot. Okay, so now we have the audio queued up. Right, hello, good evening, and welcome to George's Workbench. Some specific items rather than generic components. So apart from the odd capacitor here and there, the odd resistor, maybe a diode or two, probably nothing worth salvaging. You're better off buying new. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon for the next video. Bye for now. Right, okay, so there we are. That's the filming stage done, and as they say in the film industry, that's the wrap. Now we've got to go for post-production and editing and transfer all of this stuff over. Now what I tend to do is, you'll probably notice from my clothing and my hair, that I do more than one video at a time, so that I can release things on a scheduled basis. So the first thing I've got to do is clear the bench off and get the next video set up. Okay, so once the video's done, then we have to do the taking of the pictures. So what I do now is I'm going to put you round back on the floor. Drop it down a couple of notches. And just check it. And that gives me the pictures for the thumbnail for the video. I'll turn that camera off. Then I can unplug everything, and then we're on to transferring everything over once I've dismantled the rest of the equipment. The next stage of the entire process is actually transferring the video over to the computer, and what I've got here attached to the camera now is a 15-foot USB 3 lead, which goes all the way down, along, and into the back of the PC, which is over here. Right, so now I'm connected in, I'm going to open Vegas, which is was the Sony program, and the only reason I use Vegas is because it speaks to the Sony camcorders much better than Premiere Pro does. So what I do is I look at where am I? Window, Device Explorer. It knows there's one connected on E, and I just make sure latest. Right, I've got presets for the different cameras, and so the first camera I pull in, which is the side view Sony, I always call Sony 1, and I save that one, and then it's shown all the new files that we've created. Okay, so there's about 10 gig of files on the single camera, so then we just hit import all of those to the pre-save location, and this is the long drawn out bit where it takes a long time for all of this to get put in. While Vegas is doing that, I go over to my other monitor and I plug in the other cable I have, which I'm just going to move out of the way, and I plug this into my other USB hub, which I have under the desk here, which again goes to the back of the PC, and the other two that I transfer across separately, I use this little card reader. It's not the fastest in the world, but it does the job, and that's the card reader opening up, and copy all the audio files. So there's about a gigabyte of audio there, so I take them off of that and I put them into the folder marked latest, and I just paste them across, and as you see it's copying both lots over. Now this camera is switched off. I then again pull the memory card out, and when that one's finished copying over, I can copy over the memory card from the Nikon, which is the overhead camera. Okay, so there's the first memory card. So what I'll do is I'll copy the rest of these off camera, and after that we'll go to the editing and start importing them into the editing suite, and you can see how I lay out my editing and what I actually do. Okay, so what we've done so far is we've added in the stuff we've collected from the camcorder into Adobe Premiere, and what I've done so far is I've aligned the audio tracks from the videos from the 4 different cameras with the audio track from the audio recorder, and if I just go back and turn you round slightly, you should be able to see that monitor and hear the output. In shot, in shot. Okay, so now we have the audio queued up. Right, hello, good evening, and welcome to George's Workbench. That's the audio and all the video tracks aligned with each other. Let's tear it to pieces job. This is the old... So, I want to put my first cut in here. Now, we're almost 30 seconds into a video. Let me just run that first bit again. 2 reference marks. Good evening. Right. Anybody who hasn't done video editing will probably be completely confused by this process, but it is actually quite straightforward. Good evening and welcome to George's Workbench, and tonight I've got something a little bit different on the bench, and this is basically a strip down and a dismantle. This is going to be nothing more fancy than a let's tear it to pieces job. This is the... Right, so before I say that, that is where I want my first cut. So I choose my razor blade, slice that there. Now at this point, this is the point I want to take this video here and actually change the size of it so that it fits in the corner of the screen. Now I could actually take it right up into the corner and just have it sort of there so that when it plays, over here in the UK, we can now switch by putting in extra cuts. Let's put another one, so that's, yeah, so that's about 5 seconds there. I've been through and edited the video now, and I've done all the trimming and taking out the bad bits and the mistakes and some of the extra words that I didn't need to say, and generally we've gone from 20 minutes down to 13 and a half minutes, including the end screen. So what I've got to do now is just render it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to export the media, and I want the entire sequence that I've been working on. It needs to be as a YouTube 1080, so I just go down to the preset in Premiere Pro, 1080 HD. It's got the name already filled in, and so what have we got? 13 and a half minutes export, and that will take 1 minute and 50 seconds. Or well, there you go. Yeah, less than a few minutes. It's not that big a file. 40 gigs rendering is nothing really, especially not in full HD. Yeah, 6 minutes and 3 seconds, 6 minutes 10 seconds. It's not going to take very long at all. So yeah, 35 gigs, 6 minutes, no issue. The part we've got to do after the rendering is to do the photography part of it and do the screens, and for that I go into Photoshop, and I'll open one of my preset thumbnail titles, and all I've got to do is choose which colour I want. As it's a teardown, not dangerous, so it could be fun. Could do it in red. So let's do File, Open. Let's go with that one. There we go. That's the same one as I used on the Heath kit. Then I just import the relevant pictures. Did I take a photograph of that particular one? Probably not. So let's go back to Premiere. Okay, it's got 2.5 minutes left. So what I'm going to do is when that finishes rendering, I will go back to the initial page, grab a screenshot, and send it into Photoshop, edit it, and add the picture to the thumbnail screen. I knew what I was talking about eventually, and go from there. On the screen you can see the screen grab from the video, me in the corner, and that. But all I want is the picture of the black box, so I'm just going to select the black box like that. There we go. That's all that's involved in making the thumbnail. I just File, Save As, yes, apply the transformation, put it back where I want it to, make sure it's a PNG, and save it as that, and just save that. So that's ready to upload now. Then we go back to YouTube, and I'll go to another window and just do upload video. I can now do upload a video. Select the file and it will be in videos, and it's there, so I can open that one. What I want to do is make it scheduled. This one can go out on Friday. So Friday is the 14th, and it can go out at noon. Local time, GMT, and then I just fill in all the details on the video, which anybody who uploads YouTube videos knows about. And yeah, that is how I make a YouTube video. So all I've got to do now is actually put this footage that I've captured completely on my cell phone into Premiere and turn it into a video that you can watch, and I'll probably upload that before I upload, or I'll probably release this video before I release the one that I've just edited and put on ready for Friday. So until then, hopefully we'll see you soon. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing. Click like, click subscribe, share the video wherever you like. Let everybody know that I do exist. And yeah, if you like what I'm doing, stay around. If you don't, tell me what I'm doing wrong. All comments do get an answer. I don't ignore people. Sometimes life gets in the way and it'll take me a little while to get there, but I seem to be awake most hours of the day and night. So if you're interested, yeah, give us a shout and we can chat about things on the comment board, or yeah, if you're really lucky, I might even wake up enough to respond to an email. Thanks very much for watching. Speak to you again soon. Bye for now.